Gio Reyna signs a new deal for not Nottingham Forest, Dortmund. Welcome to your transfer news. Forest Fan TV have teamed up with our good friends at Foco, who can offer you the most amazing Nottingham Forest officially licensed goods. Would you like your very own world famous city ground and be the envy of all your mates? Or like me, do you need that happy clapper juice constantly by your side with this beautiful bottle? Or for those of you with gardens, how about putting one of these beautiful forest gnomes in there? And for the younger generation, why not be the envy of all your friends at school with this official Nottingham Forest lunchbox? Go check out the Foco website by simply clicking on the link in the description or in the pinned comments and select the items you want, from the city ground to mugs to gnomes. Once you've selected the item you want, make sure you go to the checkout after adding it to your baskets and make sure to use code FFTV10 for a further 10% discount off all your checkout items. Go check out the link now and come on, you Reds. Good morning, good evening, or good night, and welcome back to yet another transfer video. You guys must be sick of the sight of me by now. If you are, or if you're not, either way, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and I want a break so badly. But this is Forest, and we only do our business in the final 24 hours, so hey, we've got to roll with the punches. Coming up, I'm going to tell you about the Reyna deal and what's happened and just clarify everything for you. We'll talk about a bit of a soppy player as well, and another player who's gone to Juventus for a ridiculous price that Forest were linked with. So let's get into it, and let's start with the one we all care about, which is Reyna. As I said in the intro, he has signed a new contract with Dortmund. Now, why is the question? Well, firstly, the details of the contract. He's extended it by a year to 2026. So it's not really a long-term contract. Forest will still get him on loan. He is in the UK doing his medical and what have you. So there's no issues with that. But the change from the earlier story when we broke it, was it this morning or last year, whenever it was, is that Forest no longer have an option to buy on Reyna. Forest wanted the option to buy, but they couldn't come to an agreement with Dortmund on what that was, to the point where Dortmund became insistent on having no option to buy. So this is now just a straight loan deal, and I goddamn hate it. I hate any loan deal that doesn't have an option or an obligation. If we're selling, I like an obligation. If we're loaning, I like it to be just a low option to buy, a straight up option to buy. Now, why don't I like this? Well, let me give you the example of Dean Henderson. Last year, Forest and Dean Henderson fell in love. Fans loved him, he loved us, the club loved him, and everything else. But Forest had not put an option to buy on that deal. And in the summer, after 6 million hours of negotiations and what felt like Forest were getting somewhere, he ended up going to Crystal Palace for 15 million. And that is example A of why you need an option to buy. Look at Lodi as a second example. That one, Forest did have an option to buy, but they'd over-negotiated it at 25 million euros. And then they couldn't negotiate it down. Lodi didn't want to stay in England, and he ends up going to Marseille for about 11 million. And this is why the club always has to protect themselves. Now, what I will say is, it's got to the stage in this negotiation, from what I'm understanding, that if Forest persisted on an option to buy, then the deal was off. Dortmund didn't want to do it come the end of it, and they've been able to extend his contract. That, again, that doesn't make a difference. So in the case of, would I rather have him than not have him at all? Then yeah, I would rather have him. But I do think we got to start questioning who's doing these negotiations. Are they over hardballing it? Look at Mangala and the Napoli move. You could say Forest did really well in that because Napoli wanted a loan with an option to buy, and in the end got so pissed off at Forest that they walked away. But luckily enough for us, Leon came in and they've doing that deal there. So it is messy, and I do understand this isn't Football Manager. You can't just, make your offer and then increase it, press the plus button a couple of times and see what happens. So fair enough. But I do have fears that Reyna it's not fears. Fears is probably the wrong word. I do expect Reyna to be really good for Forest in this loan period. And come the end of this loan period, he's going to be worth more. And if Forest haven't protected themselves with that option to buy, he's going to be priced out of what we can afford. And that worries me. Because it's like the winners in this are Dortmund, you have to say. They've extended his contract. If he plays well for Forest, his price goes up. If he plays crap for Forest, then they just get him back and they've got that extended year, so his price is protected. The only benefit for Forest here is that we get him for 6 months. And I do worry about falling in love with loan players. It's another Jed Spence potentially, isn't it? Jed Spence, we all fell in love with him. Okay, you can say he's gone crap now, but at the time when Jed Spence's loan finished, what Forest fan wasn't like, Jed, we want you? So yeah, that's officially the lines on the Reyna thing. That's his deal summed up and summarized. Any questions you got, let me know in the comments down below. And let's move on and talk about Soppy. I'm going to give you guys this little catnip, right? Because you guys just love weird names, don't you? So Soppy, who was linked with Forest yesterday, has now gone and signed for Schalke. That's it. It's done. There's your catnip. Take it and put whatever you want in the comments. I'm giving you free reign on that one. So it sounded like it could have been a bit of a sloppy deal. No, I'll leave the jokes to you guys. And the other one as well is Carlos Alcaraz. He's moved from Southampton to Juventus on a loan, and their option to buy is ridiculous. It's 45 million. Southampton have got a hell of a negotiating team for a championship club. And I don't mind Southampton, to be honest. You got to be impressed with the prices they've put on their players. They sold Lavia to Chelsea for a crap load of money while they were in the championship. And they've done it again with Carlos. So fair play to Southampton. 45 million, he is not worth that amount of money. But he does have potential. So he's not coming to Forest either. So what's good at the moment is the pool is starting to thin out a little. We're starting to get a better idea and understanding of Forest transfer window. There's been no further updates on Sam Johnston. No doubt as soon as we put this live, we'll have a new one for you and yet another video. So make sure you're subscribed and got your notifications on. But we are going to do the traditional deadline day live stream tomorrow night. I don't know what time we're kicking it off, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock. We'll take you through all the way and past the deadline. So start brushing up on your French. If you're at the last one, you know exactly what I mean by that. Hope you've enjoyed this quick update. If you have and haven't already, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. See you again soon for maybe another update. Oh yeah, and please do download Sofascore. It's completely free. The link's pinned in the comments. Come on, you Reds.